Hi, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to the Fashionista Life brought to you by True Fashionistas. I'm your host, Jennifer Johnson, and today we welcome into the studio Holly Strickland, and she is the owner of Burn Boot Camp here in Naples. And I've known you for many years.
Yes.
I like to refer to you as the fittest fashionista that I know. And I had to tell you guys, we are talking about one badass woman here.
Oh my gosh.
You are amazing, amazing,
so sweet.
amazing.
Thank you.
So tell our listeners what you do, what got you into this, and what keeps you going, and then we'll
go from
rest.
there. Awesome. Well, I played golf my entire life. So probably
I didn't know that.
You may not know this story.
Wow.
So I played golf my entire life. I went to Barron Collier, and then I went on a full ride golf scholarship to UCF.
Oh my gosh. I keep hearing about unused golf scholarships for girls.
Yes.
Constantly.
It's a huge reason why
And I can't get my daughter to, she's a senior next year.
Yeah.
So I think it's a little late. But,
We started off at 5.
My
dad did. Yeah, started me playing at 5.
Wow.
So when I went to college, that's where I found my love for fitness. So I got my degree in sports and fitness, a minor in coaching, minor in fitness training. And I worked at a gym up there for like 3 years. And then I met my husband, moved back to Naples, and I got transferred to the gym right here.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Which is how I met you.
Oh, that is so crazy.
Yeah.
So for our listeners who may not know, the gym she's referring to is in the same center as True Fashionistas, of which that's the store that I own. And that's how we met. Really.
Yes. So I would go there on Fridays. It was like my Friday thing.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that funny? So after that, one of my friends, he also worked for the same gym here in Naples, and he moved up to North Carolina, and they started a franchise called Burn Boot Camp. So he called me one day and he's like, Holly, you got to do this with me. And I'm like, Devin, you're crazy. You are crazy. I love you, but you're crazy. So I ended up doing it. So I went in 2015 as the head trainer. And then I ended up purchasing that location in 2018. So we've been there for 7 years.
Wow.
Yep. So owner, operator, trainer. I have, obviously an amazing team because I could not do it alone. But we were the first gym in the state of Florida. So they started off in North Carolina, and then we were the first one in Florida.
That is so cool because Burn Boot Camps is all over the country.
Yes. There's over 300 locations now, 40 states.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive. And that's so cool. It's like full circle.
Yes. Yes. It's awesome. It's awesome.
That is really
so
neat.
It's female only.
Oh, I truly did not know that.
You didn't?
I had no idea.
Yeah. So Burn Naples is one of the only ones that's female only. And that's actually because of our lease, but here nor there.
Oh,
yeah.
So other ones are
co-ed.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's really a lot about women empowerment and, giving anyone a safe place to come and work out and feel comfortable in their own skin. So,
well, I see your posts on Facebook and they are so inspiring and empowering and all of that. So that is so cool.
Yes.
We're here today to talk about fitness.
Yes.
And I said, you're the fittest fashionista. I know you are.
Dun, dun,
I aspire
dun.
to be you someday. I'm trying. I do my Peloton and I walk, but
you should come to Burn.
I
keep trying to get her to come.
Okay. And this is, we're going to talk about that because I know some people are like, oh my God,
yes,
I can't go to a gym.
Oh, please talk to me about that.
So we're going to talk about that.
Yes.
But okay. So let's talk about 5 ways to get into a fitness routine. And we're not talking tomorrow. We're not talking in a month or 6 months. We're talking about now.
Yes.
What can we do now that's not going to be scary or freaky and make us quit after a day?
Right. So I have 5 things that I would say to do. You first have to get your mind right. You have to be ready to start, right? Because if you're not, you're not gonna. If you're like halfway in, halfway out, you're not gonna make that decision. You have to make that decision for yourself.
That's true.
And really figure out why you want to do it. So I would say that would be. It's the hardest part. It's we can go into that right now. It's the hardest part
of
walking in any gym. Is the hardest thing. I always say that front door was the hardest thing you had to do today.
Because you look around and you see
scary,
all these people that look better than you, no matter what. I mean, no matter what, you're always going to look at yourself in a different looking glass because that's how we're critical.
We are the hardest on ourselves.
Yeah.
Right.
So we're like, oh no.
Yeah. So one thing when anyone comes into our facility, we don't have mirrors.
Oh my gosh. I love it. That's great.
So,
by
because
design.
like we want you to be working on yourself and not looking at anybody else,
Mhm.
right? So that's a big part, but I would say starting is the hardest, right?
Mhm.
So once you get past that, don't get overwhelmed. Start extremely small. So it's like, okay, I got to show up 5 days a week or I didn't do anything, right? No,
That's me. Like,
no,
all in or nothing.
no.
No.
If it's 2 to 3 days a week, that's great. You're doing something. So you need to start small, but you have to make up your mind. So
And then you work your way up.
yes. What we find is then people get very motivated and they love
Uh-huh.
it. They love the way they feel. They love the community. And then they're showing up 6 days a week. I mean, I can't tell you how many people are like, I came 3 and now I'm here 6. I
See,
never
and
planned that.
I can totally see that because I know when I'm not working out, if I forget, I don't forget, but if you fall off the train because you
Yeah.
go on vacation,
Yes.
and then starting back up is so
Yes.
hard.
It's so hard.
And
It's so hard.
if you went, oh man, I only did it 3 days this week, then you start feeling guilty after you
Yes.
built that up. And then you're like, oh,
Right.
I have to go do it.
Right.
And
You do.
it just kicks you in the butt.
Yes. Yes.
For lack of anything better to say,
Exactly.
right? I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh, yes. Then you're sore again. You weren't
Mhm.
sore for a while, like all
Yep.
those things. So step 2, I would say, is prepare. So
Okay.
for me, I always tell my clients, put your shoes on. So you wake up, set out your clothes, and put your shoes on. So put your tennis shoes on so you know you're going to go work out.
Mhm.
Or if you're working out at nighttime, then set your clothes out the night before. So those are some tips that I would have, but you
Mhm.
have to prepare. Like you can't just say, I don't know what time I'm going to go today. No, schedule
Yeah.
yourself time. You're important. You
Right.
have to make that time for yourself.
I was just thinking of something, and I don't know if you have it in here,
Mhm.
but actually you do. Habit.
Mm.
Okay.
Mhm.
So I don't know. You tell me from your opinion, but I've heard like you set out to do anything. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's working out or,
Mhm.
not smoking or whatever it is, for
Mhm.
2 weeks.
Mhm.
And that's like the number. Have you heard that?
So
It's like
they say it takes 21 days to form a habit.
21 days. Okay.
Yes. So 3 weeks.
So 3 weeks.
Yep. So you just got to, again, if you have that mindset
Mhm.
and you've already set your mind to do this, now you have to prepare to do it. So you can't just expect it to happen. And like no one's going to work out for you.
Right,
You
yeah,
have
yeah.
to do it.
It's
You have
hard.
to put the work in.
You mean there's not an app for that?
There is not.
Darn
I wish. And truly it's hard for me sometimes.
Mhm.
It's a routine, but I'm just getting over an injury. I just tore my ACL, so I'm just getting through that.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's hard for anybody. It's not like it just comes,
Mhm.
It's you have to put in the work and know why you started. So I think I have that in here somewhere. If not, I will write that down and we'll talk about that at the end.
Know why. Yes.
Know why. All right. So
you said prepare.
So number 3, move more, eat better. I know we're gonna have another little talk about
Mhm.
nutrition.
Yes.
But what I would really, it's important to know you just have to start somewhere. No matter where you're starting, it's somewhere. So if you're just moving a little bit more and maybe
Mhm.
you're not coming to a gym, maybe that is like a year goal to you, just start walking 10 minutes. It doesn't matter. Just start moving more. Park your car further away in the parking lot. So just starting to move more and just slowly but surely eating better. We all know it's not good for us.
Right. True. But
We do.
we know, I have a dying question to ask you.
Uh-oh.
Is shopping cardio?
I mean,
come
sure.
on.
You get your steps in. We have a challenge right now saying going that we want everyone to do 10,000 steps a day. So, I
Mhm.
mean, it's a very common,
Right. Yes.
goal. But I mean, I think shopping falls in there.
I think it does, right? That would be included. So move more.
Yes, move more, eat better. So again,
So eat better.
we're going to talk about calories and all of that, but just we know what to eat. We know that French fries don't make us feel good.
Oh, I know, right?
They might make you feel good in that moment.
Mm-hmm. Like,
but
oh, this tastes so good. But then
right.
Then you feel guilty.
Yes.
See, it's like
Mhm.
pleasure and guilt. Pleasure
is.
and guilt. It's devil and
right. You have the
on
2
each
little guys on your
It's
shoulder.
like, okay, what? Eat the French
Yes.
fry or don't eat the French fry.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in that category, I just wrote down a little note because I feel like I always hear this. Well, my friend Sally's brother, sister lost
Mhm.
weight doing blah, 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 blah.
Drinking vinegar every day.
I mean,
audience, please don't do that.
Yes,
But,
please don't do that. But I hear it all. And I will say, just do what works for you. So if you have found in the past maybe it was going on a walk and that
Mhm.
you saw tremendous results from that, or if it is the Peloton or whatever that looks like, do what makes you happy. Because if you don't enjoy some part of it, you won't do it.
See, and okay, so that is totally the key because I remember back in the day, I was in a lot of pageants. I did pageants and I had to
awesome.
work out because I was so skinny. I was 93 pounds. I know. Oh
So
my
small.
gosh. So I had to work out.
Uh-huh.
And I had a trainer and all this, and I hated every
Mhm.
minute of it because I was walking on the treadmill. I'm like,
Right.
oh, I hate this.
Right.
And then, we were lifting weights, and I don't remember what activity it was that I really, I liked lifting weights.
Yeah.
But I liked doing legs more than I liked doing anything
Right.
else.
Right.
And that was like the only thing. Now my life has changed and
Right.
and I like walking
Mhm.
and I like my bike, but
Right.
if you don't like it, you're going to stop doing
You're
it.
not gonna continue.
There
Yes.
has to be some pleasure in there for you.
You do. And I mean, once you get done with working out, you should feel good, right?
Right.
And I mean, most people are going to change their mood regardless,
Mhm.
but you do want to go, you want to enjoy it at some point. You don't want to
Right.
be like, I hate this so much. You're not going to stick with it.
Do you notice that when you put, like, I'm assuming you play music?
Yes.
Okay.
Music is
So,
life.
like me, if somebody throws on some throwback, hairband music, I'm like, woo, yes, I'm
I love
unstoppable.
that. Yes.
Or country. I love country. Like that
Yes.
is my music.
Yes.
And so that's part of the reason why I go out and walk because that's what I listen to.
Yeah.
And by my 20 minutes or half hour, I'm like,
It's done.
really? I'm done?
So when I walk, I actually listen to podcasts.
Oh
So,
my
dun, dun,
gosh, that's a
dun.
great
Yes.
thing.
So I really am trying in that time to figure out where am I growing? Am I growing to be a better boss, mom, wife,
Mhm.
whatever area, and I kind of find stuff that I'm looking at and I walk and listen to podcasts. So
Well,
yeah,
so
that's what I do. I don't listen to music because I listen to it all day in the gym.
Yeah, but
So,
that's great because
yes.
you are growing yourself
Yes.
and
it passes
working
time
out.
by so fast.
Of course it does.
Mhm.
Of course it does.
Yeah.
Okay, so move better, calories in versus out. I'll let you
Yep.
continue down
So
the
we're gonna
list.
go number 4. So set reasonable goals. I've had, I think, 5 clients that have lost 100 pounds
Oh, wow.
from in my time of being a personal trainer and at Burn. And what I find is they'll come in and they'll tell me like, I want to lose 100 pounds. I'm like, that's fantastic, and it's always how fast can I do it?
Oh, mm-hmm.
Right. So slow weight loss stays, fast weight loss does not stay. So as the slower, more gradual you lose weight, the more likely you're going to keep it off.
If it's too good to be true,
It probably is.
Probably is. Yeah. All right. We are actually going to head to commercial break right
Okay.
now. And when we come back, we're going to give you, we're going to talk more about the ways to get in a fitness routine now. And we will be back with Holly Strickland with Burn Boot Camp right back here after break.
Okay.
Yay. So we're going to have to, because this was my second, we might even get into this one.
Just go right into it.
But there'll be other things that we'll talk about probably. Okay. I want to
because that's why like that last page, that page number 3, or like maybe a filler.
Yeah. So this might be
15 minutes to review all that.
But I still feel like this should be its own podcast.
I do too.
This needs to be a podcast.
So do you want to do this? Whatever is remaining,
the questions.
Just go into the questions.
We can.
Whatever you want to go over that. Just if you want to review.
Yeah.
There's no magic pill.
Oh yeah. And we, and I'll just expand on some of the things we're talking about.
Okay.
And, tell you what I think about.
Yeah. That's fine.
All right. Are we ready? All right. So now we're going to go to,
so we're still in that reasonable goal.
We're going to go to 3:00 and then we close out the first podcast.
Okay.
Yep. Oops. Thanks again for tuning in. You're listening to The Fashionista Life, and I'm your host, Jennifer Johnson. We are here today with Holly Strickland at Burn Boot Camp, and we are talking about all things fitness. So let's continue our chat here because it's so intriguing. I mean, so many of these things are so true.
Yes. Yes. And I mean, for me, I just want to make it sure that's very relatable and super easy. That's always, I think it's the key for everyone. So
it is, because if it's not, we're not going to do it.
You're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. it's not fun to run a half
No.
marathon, right? Like no one,
See,
maybe
you know
someone
what?
likes that. I
Okay.
don't know. It's not
No,
me.
for me, I was the kid in school back in the day because I'm older than you. We had I think it was like the president's, I can't remember.
Oh,
It's the
yeah.
president's something where you fitness
It
test or
was, yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah. I
And
remember that.
you had to run a mile. You had to do
Yep.
so many sit-ups and chin-ups and all
Yep.
these things. Well, when it came time to run the mile,
Yes.
I was the walker. I walked the whole way because
like,
I'm
"I'll be
like,
back
there's
here."
no way. I kept getting side pain.
Yeah.
And why do you get side pain? I don't know. Do you know? I don't know.
Um,
But I kept getting,
breathing.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
probably
usually a
it
breathing
because
thing.
I hold my breath.
Yes.
But I was the walker.
Yep.
I just don't think I could.
And we're not all
challenge
made
myself
to
enough
do
to-
it, right? We're
I
not all
wish.
made to run a full marathon, and that's okay. So in this goal setting part, focus. I like to tell everybody, focus on small wins. So we were talking about someone losing 100 pounds.
Yes.
Break that up into, okay, we're right now focusing on 10 pounds at a time. That's
Mhm.
all we're gonna do. And every time we get to that 10-pound goal, all right, here's our next 10 pounds. So even if you have 20 pounds to lose, break it up into
Mhm.
5 pounds at a time. Whatever that goal is for anyone out there who is listening, don't feel like you got to say, oh my gosh, this goal feels too big for me, right? Because you're going to get overwhelmed and then you're going to quit.
Right. It's
So-
I'm defeated. I'm defeated. Give yourself small wins.
Yes, small wins. So
Mhm.
I remember specifically one of these clients that I worked with, and she was like, Holly, I can tie my shoe. I have
Oh,
not been
wow.
able to tie my shoe in years.
Oh.
And I'm like, girlfriend, like that's huge.
That's a win. That's a win right
huge
there.
win.
Mhm.
So sometimes we got to remember like to focus on non-scale victories.
That
Right?
makes complete sense.
Mhm.
It's not what it says on the scale all the time.
Right. Right.
It's how we feel.
Right. And
things we
people
can do.
see inches, they don't see pounds. So
And I can totally attest to that
mhm.
because, doing squats and doing all this stuff that's building muscle, even walking, right?
Yep.
I'm like, the scale hasn't moved,
Right.
but yet my pants fit.
Yeah.
I mean,
And sometimes you just have to go off your clothes.
You
And that's
do.
fine.
because look
Yeah.
at, after the whole COVID lockdown,
I know.
I mean, wah,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Where I know you were close like we were.
Yeah. We kept it virtual, but yes.
But it's tough.
Yes.
But we all gained something because we had
Mhm.
stress eating. We were all at
Mhm.
home and that's all we did was eat.
Right.
And
was a
now
hard
we
time.
need to get that
Yes.
off.
And to piggyback off that, it's about recreating new habits. So
Mhm.
kind of, coming to terms of I didn't get good habits during that time. And what are they and how do we fix them? So just analyzing how do you get out of that. So maybe I haven't gone back into a fitness routine.
Mhm.
Fine, start somewhere.
Yeah.
You don't have to have ginormous goals. Just start walking 10 minutes a day. You're going to see a difference in your life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I remember over COVID, before COVID happened, I swore off sugar
Mm.
and I lost weight,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Because sugar is like
Yeah.
this nasty little.
Yes.
And I swore it off. And then COVID happened.
Mm.
And I've not been able to shake sugar since.
Yes.
So it's,
Yep. And I know we'll go into this, but that's why I really like to make sure that when I'm guiding someone with nutrition, to have them slowly bring things off and to not fully take anything out. Because if you do,
yeah.
it's long term. If you can't do it long term, don't start it now. Don't cut it completely out.
Right.
But that's just my philosophy. So,
But it's all about the long game.
yes.
And it doesn't matter what you're doing, whether
Correct.
it's fitness or it's diet or it's your career or
Correct.
whatever it is. It should all be about the long game.
Yes.
Because what did they
100%.
say? It's not the marathon. It's not the marathon. It's the journey, or it's the. There's
What
a
is that
saying.
one? Yes,
There's
there is
something.
a saying.
And it's all about the journey.
Yes. No.
Not.
Is
No,
that
I don't know. I don't know what it is.
You have two blondes here
But-
trying to figure this out.
So whatever that saying is, that's
Yes.
what I'm talking about.
Yes, exactly.
So I
So
agree.
the last little point I'd have in that little segment is so a lot of times we treat ourselves. So we're setting these goals. These goals are attainable. They're reasonable. It's something we can do. They're small.
They're small and they're smart,
They're
right?
small. They're smart.
Yep.
So a lot of times we're like, well, I'm going to go out to dinner, or I'm going to, I don't know. Our goals typically are we're giving ourselves something around food.
Mm-hmm.
So
exactly.
So try to give yourself something. Okay, I'm going to go on a $100 shopping spree, or
Now
yeah,
you're talking
or
my
whatever it
language.
may be, right? So you
Right.
hit that 5-pound goal, and now I'm going to go get myself a new outfit, or I'm
Mhm.
going to go get a massage, something that doesn't have to do with food. So treat yourself in a way that isn't around that, because that's just adding more, I'd say,
Mhm.
triggers in some ways. So
Sure.
yeah, so that's a little section
I
have
love
there.
that. Yeah. And I know in our next podcast with you, we're going to talk about nutrition.
Yes, super exciting. All right, so I hear this all the time. It's not Monday, so I'll start on Monday. Is that you?
Okay. Oh, Monday. I'm going to
Monday.
eat, mine's
Oh, but
usually
it's
about,
Tuesday.
yeah.
But I'm gonna start Monday,
Yeah.
right?
So
So
I've got more time.
exactly. Start tomorrow. There's never a time in your life that you're not gonna have a circumstance. You're not gonna have something come up. You're not gonna have an excuse, right? We're gonna make our own excuses, and we're gonna be the best ones at it.
You're right.
So just start tomorrow, whatever that day is. Even if it's today, tomorrow, start. Do something tomorrow that just starts to get that ball rolling to make your life better. So your excuses are always going to be there. So, I mean, I don't know that I have much more to add on that. But yeah, it doesn't matter where you start, just start somewhere.
And I think, I remember I've only stepped foot in one gym because
Okay.
I was always a do-it-yourselfer at home.
Gotcha.
Okay. Because for me, the gym was full of fit people.
Mm-hmm.
So I love the fact that you don't have mirrors.
Yep.
That's great because I don't need to look at myself and then look.
Well, everybody ends up
know?
looking at everybody else,
Of
right?
course.
So that's like, I think the beauty of not having
That's ingenious.
yeah, it's great.
Because otherwise you are compare. I mean, we all compare, right?
Right.
I mean, it's probably part of human nature in
It
some
is.
way, shape, or form, no matter what you're comparing.
Right.
But I've always been that at home kind of person.
Right.
And I know that that's
It's
just
scary
in
to
my
walk
head.
in a gym.
It is.
Mhm.
But when it's, for example, you have a gym with all women.
Mhm. Yep.
And that's
Yeah,
that's cool.
It is really cool. It's such I don't even know how to explain how awesome the entire experience has been. But we do have childcare, so that's been
And that's so cool.
another addition. Yep. So then you can come any time of the day. We have child watch 6 hours of the day. So
Wow.
that adds a little different little bonus in there as well. So yeah, I don't know. Do you want to talk about the why? Remember we asked?
Yes, absolutely. We have to, but I have to just piggyback on something else that you said.
Yes.
The community that I see
Mm-hmm.
at your burn,
Yes.
is quite amazing because I see all the Facebook posts,
Yes.
and when somebody in your community has something go on,
Mm-hmm.
the others are always there,
Yeah.
ready to lend a hand or lift someone up or
Yeah.
anything. What do you need? Tell me what you need, kind of thing.
And no
that's
matter what,
so
I can
cool.
put a post out, and I have people
Yes.
that are there in every walk of life. It's amazing.
That is so cool.
Yeah. And I don't know how that all happened, but I'm super pumped to be part of it. It's just been such a blessing. It truly has.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's
It's changed my
awesome.
life for sure.
So let's talk about the why.
Yeah. So I think a lot of us, we don't know why we work out.
That's true. So how do we know?
You got to keep asking yourself why.
Mhm.
So like I mentioned, I just recently went through that surgery, and I always thought my why was for my son.
Mhm.
I thought it was like being a good mom, and like he's 5,000 miles an hour. You see
Oh
him.
my gosh.
He
Her son
doesn't
is
stop.
amazing too. He is.
His name is Maverick. So I always thought that was my why. Like my why was being a great mom
Mhm.
and being an awesome wife. Like those were my things that I thought. But as I went through this injury, I made it through a lot quicker than I think maybe most people would have. And it brought me to a whole new why
Mhm.
of I work out. So if something like this happens, I'm going to recover a lot quicker. And whys can sit in so many different areas of your life of why you work out. But I think it's so important as you're trying to get into this routine, you're trying to figure out, how do I get started? I don't even know how. I don't know where to go.
Mhm.
I'm scared. I mean, all of the things, you got to know why you want to do it. If you want it to be, okay, I just want to feel better. Why do you want to feel better?
Right.
I want to feel better because I don't want to be on medicine. What kind of medicine are you on? How do we
Mhm.
get that? So that's been such a game changer, I would say, with so many people, is like, it's not going to always be easy to show up.
Right.
But it's not.
We know that. Yes.
And that's in any area of our life.
Mhm.
But I think when we know why we're doing something and really digging deep on that, and you just have to continue to ask yourself why.
Right.
You
Because
know,
when you know the why, the hard part doesn't seem so hard.
Right.
Because you have that on the
Mhm.
horizon.
Yep. So whenever I train, every boot camp, I always say that. Why are you here? What brought you in those doors today?
That's awesome.
You know, and I constantly make them go back to that because I
Mhm.
think it's so important.
It is.
Because if you're just showing up because you want to look cute in an outfit, hey girl, you do you. But right, and hey, that might happen.
And that is
That might happen.
It does
That
happen.
might happen. That's fine. But when it's really about I wanna be able to go on that roller coaster ride with
Mhm.
my son, and I've never been able to do that. Your why is so big, and your excuse is no longer there.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Those are great parting words.
Yes.
So again, guys, we have been visiting with Holly Strickland from Burn Boot Camp, and thank you so much for being on with
my
us
pleasure.
today.
Thank you for asking me.
Absolutely. And if our listeners want to get a hold of you,
Yep.
how do they get a hold of you? We'll also drop it in the comment section, but
Yep.
how do they get a hold of you?
So let's go holly@burnbootcamp.com. That's a super easy way. Or else you can find us on social media, just Burn Boot Camp Naples on Instagram and Facebook.
Fabulous.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you to everyone for listening to us today. Thanks for tuning in. And we will see you on our next broadcast. Thank you.
Bye-bye.